wanna spill the feels with me? Are we spilling the feels? Spill the feels with me? Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is Rara's K-pop spot. 안녕하세요 친구들. 내 채널에 다시 오신 것을 환영합니다. 이것은 라라의 K-pop spot. Today's video is very different. I am just out of the shower, so my hair is air drying. It is about to be 10 p.m. in my time zone on Sunday, October 13th, and 17's 12th mini album, Spill the Feels, comes out at 4 o'clock in the morning in my time zone tomorrow on Monday the 14th. So we're doing a reaction to the comeback, but this is going to be weird probably because I am doing a silent reaction because since the album comes out at 4 o'clock in the morning for me, I don't want to wake up my dog. So doing some pre-recording now, and then I will react to the comeback. If you are familiar with the silent book reviews on Book Talk, that trend, it's gonna be kind of similar to that, but for a comeback reaction. So we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm feeling a little bit nervous because I have never done any kind of a reaction video before, and I don't currently have anything else planned for my video this week. So I have to post in 3 days, and I'm nervous because what if I wind up hating this? So that's fun, but whatever, we're just gonna go with it. No learning highlight for this video because I did not plan one, and you're not here to learn Korean right now. I'm not here to learn Korean right now. We're here to listen to 17. I have not seen any spoilers yet for this comeback. I know the tour just started over the weekend in Seoul, and I know that 17 did perform the new songs, but I've been avoiding spoilers online because I really just wanted to listen at 4 o'clock in the morning when it comes out. I think what I will do is I'm probably gonna wake up and turn all of my stuff on. I'm gonna watch the music video for the title track first, and then I will just listen to the comeback on Spotify after. And I think the only thing that I really have to add right now is that I am not actually a DJ Khaled fan, and I do not listen to any of his music, so I'm a little bit nervous about the title track, Love, Money, Fame. I don't know if I will wind up liking it, but if 17 was happy to work with him, then I will do my best to support 17. Okay, I think that's it for right now. I will see you again at 4 o'clock in the morning, when I am sure I will inevitably start questioning all of my choices. Because I am terrified of copyright violations, there will be no actual 17 music in this video. However, there will be many a voiceover to accompany my reactions, so I'm sorry and enjoy! I wanted to start dancing just based on the opening notes of the song, which is always a good sign. However, I did get freaked out whenever Mingyu drove his car into the water, but the lyrics were very easy to pick up on, and I was able to start singing along pretty quickly. This was my reaction to Coops leading the group dance. I was a very big fan of the hat and the hair. I was singing along, and then Vernon's verse came on, and I'm normally a big fan of Vernon's verses. I think he has such a distinct voice, and I really like the lines that he writes in 17 songs, so this is no surprise. You can make what you want of my reaction to this part of the music video, but I'm not taking any questions at this time. Thank you. I was singing along, minding my own business, and then I was rudely distracted by June in this shirt carrying the flowers. However, I recovered quickly, and it was back to singing for me. To quote Kelly Kapoor from The Office, "Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?" Alright, and then we finished up with a little bit of dancing, a little bit of the chicken, and that was it. This would be my overall reaction to the music video. You can see that I loved it. I gave it 2 thumbs up, so great job, 17. All right, first up, we have Eyes on You. And you can see here, I start the song and immediately I'm a little dancey. I look a little bit hesitant, maybe, a little confused. But I'm picking up the vibes very quickly. Eyes on you, eyes on me. All right, we're dancing. Here you can just enjoy some of my sleepy and awkward dancing. I think I'm gonna call this one the shark fin, because what is that? Here I think I started to question whether or not I actually liked the song. However, main rappers S. Coops and Vernon did come in and turn things around for me because I really loved the verses that they wrote for this song, as shown by my reactions here. Okay, and now time for my second listen through of Love Money Fame, this time without the music video. Once again, starting off with some instant shoulder wiggles, or whatever that is, which then devolved into deep contemplation. Even though this was only my second listen through of this song, you can see that I was already picking up on the English lyrics really quickly and was just singing right along. Finishing up with some more of the little chicken dance, which then devolves into general rah-rah chaos, but I think it's safe to say that I enjoyed the song based on how much singing and dancing is going on. Okay, third we have 1 to 13, and I think probably my favorite thing about this song is the way that it starts with a little head nodding and then sends me straight into considering crying. I didn't actually cry, but I feel like I came pretty close. And then sends me into dancing, but not long after, right back into wanting to cry. So, this song was really a roller coaster of emotions. The lyrics were so emotional, but the music itself was so fun, so I was just like very confused. Roller coaster cannot be overstated enough. Here I am dancing. Here I'm dancing with a sad face. Right back to dancing again. I mean, really. I did finish the song on an emotional high, though. Finished real strong. She's a dancing queen. This would be my general overall reaction for the song. Clearly, I enjoyed it. My heart is exploding. I said I cried. I did not actually cry. Came close. But 2 thumbs up for me. Okay, and then fourth we have Satang, or Candy for you English speakers out there. This was the vocal unit's song for this comeback. Strong opening, I think I really say it all here in a second. I think it seems clear here that I was experiencing a range of emotions early on thanks to Satang, although I do agree with past Rara here, this is a beautiful song. Here I'm talking about how much I like the piano in this song, however, it does make me feel very emotional, like maybe I'll cry. Also a bit jarring to go from dancing to 1 to 13 and then switching into Satang and then you're just like contemplating your entire existence to the piano. Big finish. Woozy is a maestro. This song changed my life. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever listened to. Nearing the end, we have our fifth song, which is Rain, which was the performance unit song for this comeback. We are off to a pretty consistent start compared to the rest of the comeback so far, with a classic head bop and shoulder wiggle. Here, I think, is where I really started to get into the song. I'm also on my hands and knees begging anyone to teach me how to dance because this is painful having to watch this back right now. Here you can literally see the tiredness catch up to me because I was operating on 6 hours of sleep and a dream, but that's okay because the performance unit came through and I rallied and we're dancing again. Okay, I lied because here's the biggest yawn you've ever seen in your life to finish this off. last song from this comeback, we have Water, which was the hip-hop unit song for this album. I'll be so honest, I don't even know why I look so skeptical here. Like, bestie, you know you're gonna like the song. The correlation of the amount of times that they say water in this song to my enjoyment of it on a scatter plot would be a strong positive correlation, as you can see here. This would be my reaction to the first two actual verses in the song, sung by Mingyu and Wonu. The first time the entire comeback that I did turn the volume up, clearly I am into this song. This would be my reaction to Vernon's verse. And this would be my reaction to S. Coops' verse. The song is pretty short, but before it was even over, I was already declaring it my favorite one off of this comeback. And we are just going to finish up with some good old-fashioned singing and dancing along to this one, since I clearly loved it so much. I'm sure at this point there's probably a lot of confusion, but just to clear the air, I loved this song. Gave it 2 thumbs up, 2 okay signs, and peace signs. And that concludes the silent comeback reaction. It is now time for the wrap-up, final thoughts portion of our programming. It is now the evening of October 14th, so I've listened to the comeback now 3 times today. So I've listened to every song multiple times now. I've really gotten a feel for it. When I woke up at 3:45 in the morning, I was like, why am I doing this? I really questioned. I was like, is it even worth it? But I am glad that I did. I'm glad that I woke up at 3:45. That's what I've done for all of 17's other comebacks since I became a carrot last year. I've done this now for 17th Heaven, and the 4 new songs off of 17 is right here. So this is my 3rd time waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning for 17. So it's not like I only did this just for this video. Anyway, I am glad that I woke up and decided to record my reactions to the comeback. It's now like 6 p.m. on the night of the 14th, and I have not even watched back any of my reactions from this morning yet because I had a very busy day at work. So I don't even know how it turned out. I don't know if it's gonna even be worth posting, but it will be very genuine because I mean, it was like probably not as animated as it could have been since it was 4 o'clock in the morning, but also I had no filter because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see what we wound up with. But we are here now for final thoughts and wrap up now that I'm more coherent and that I can actually talk, right? Because I had to just react silently. I have the freedom now to actually talk about some of the thoughts that I was having while I was listening to the songs. So let's get into it. Although first, I do want to say, obviously, I am not a musical professional. I am not a musician. I wish I was, but sadly, I am not talented in that department. So this is all just truly my opinion, and none of it is based in any kind of like a musical science. So these are just my thoughts. This is just what I'm feeling after listening to the comeback a few times today. Running on very little sleep. Okay, first thoughts that I had after listening to it, it was initially I texted my friends, album slaps, no skips. That was my genuine reaction. I don't like to rank things because, I don't know, something about ranking things has always felt a little bit icky to me. But I will say my favorite song from the comeback is Water. 100%. Water was my favorite. My least favorite one And that's not saying that I didn't like it, because I genuinely loved this whole comeback. But if I had to pick a favorite, it's Water. If I had to say one that I'm like, okay, maybe upon listening again, I might skip this one sometimes, would be Eyes on You. Just because Eyes on You to me was a little bit, it sounded like club music, and I am not into club music, very not my scene. So Eyes on You, I'll probably skip it sometimes. I still love the comeback as a whole, still love the song. I guess I can't say I love the song if I admit that I would skip it. I don't dislike the song, but I'm also not sure if I like the song. So I loved this comeback. Overall, incredible. Album slaps, no skips, except for Eyes on You. So, Water, and then at the bottom of the list would be Eyes on You, and everything else is just in the middle, you know? Going through each song one by one and just highlighting my main thoughts. Eyes on You, obviously, I've just talked a little bit about, but I will add that I do really like the lyrics. I was looking at English translations for the lyrics. I mentioned in my video about language learning that one of the ways that I practice studying Korean is working on translating songs myself. I did cheat a little bit just because I wanted to have a better understanding of this comeback before coming into this video. So I did look up English translations for the songs this time, but I do really like the lyrics for Eyes on You. I just don't like the actual music for Eyes on You. So it's just not my personal preference. It's just not really my style. So love the lyrics, didn't love the musical composition. Woozy, I'm sorry. The title track, Love, Money, Fame, I liked way more than I initially thought I was going to. Like, Love, Money, Fame was my favorite song from the comeback until I heard Water. So I think it was a very strong title track. It was very catchy and like easy to pick up on the lyrics just from listening to it one time around. I think I was lip syncing some of the words just on my first listen through. So I was surprised by Love, Money, Fame. I was initially not sure how I was gonna feel about it, but I actually liked it a lot. I also really liked the music video. I loved the concept of the members trying to like define what love is. So, and then like the whole message from the song at the end of the day, love, money, and fame meaning nothing if I don't have, you know, you. In the really quick reel that it runs through, like, love is, and the members wrote in a word, you know, some of them wrote love is sharing, love is undefinable, love is expressing, love is go. I think one of them just said love is go. You know, it made me start thinking like, well, how would I define what I feel like love is? Like, how would I fill in that blank? Love is what to me? So it's a bop, but it also got me really thinking about some big existential questions. So I really liked it. 1 to 13 was diabolical because the lyrics were designed to make carrots cry, but it's like a dancey kind of song. So like the first time that I listened through, tears were prickling in my eyes because what do you mean? Woozy included lyrics like, you make my day and you made my dawn. What do you mean? Including old album titles like that was just hurtful. Especially like this song coming out right after Jonghan's enlistment and knowing that more enlistments will be coming in the future. This one was very special, and I'm glad that Woozy made it a dancey song because I don't think any carrots really would have been able to handle if it was like a sad song called 1 to 13. So I really loved this one. It like pulls at your heartstrings and it makes you feel warm inside. It makes you feel almost nostalgic for 17's youth. I don't know if that's like a good way to explain that, but it genuinely made me feel like I miss them already and they're like, they haven't even gone anywhere. So it was just like surprisingly emotional for a very upbeat and dancey kind of song. I really loved it. The song with the English title Candy, I'm gonna refer to by the Korean title Satang since the whole song is in Korean and never once do they say the word candy, but Satang is the Korean word for candy. Satang is easily one of the most beautiful songs I've ever listened to in my life. My first thought after hearing the highlight medley for Satang was this belongs in like a dramatic romance. It sounds like it belongs on an OST for a K-drama romance. I felt like it would emotionally devastate me. And upon reading the English translation of the lyrics today, I was like, why is it so sweet? And that sounds punny because the song is called Candy in English. And the lyrics do say our love is like candy. But it's so sweet. It is so sweet. The lyrics, I was melting, not to be punning. Again, it's just so sweet and it's so beautiful. And I did feel like I was melting when I was listening to it. I think that it is probably moving into easily like my top 3 vocal unit songs. It moved me. I felt something in my heart when I was listening to this song. It showcases all of the vocal units' vocals brilliantly. It was just like stunning. I have no words to describe this song other than it just like blew me away. And I appreciate that there was one song on this comeback that wasn't just like something super upbeat that I want to dance around in my room to. I'm glad that, because sometimes I just need to cry. Not that Candy is a sad song. The lyrics are not sad, but it will be one that I think I'll listen to when I'm like peak yearning, you know? I loved Satang. I think it was beautiful, and I can always count on Uji to leave me breathless. Like really just take my breath away when I'm listening to his songs. So, Satang. Rain. I loved Rain. We'll just start off and say I loved Rain. Something that I love, just about 17 in general, from listening to the highlight medley, you can tell right away which songs are vocal unit songs, which songs are performance unit songs, which songs are hip-hop unit songs. And that's for every comeback that I've experienced with 17. Like, each unit has a very distinct sound. So even without hearing any lyrics, without hearing any of the members sing, we knew from the highlight medley, okay, Rain is clearly performance unit song. Historically, performance unit songs are kind of hit or miss for me. I haven't always loved performance unit songs from the past. And that's not to say that they're not good. They're just not always my style. But I really liked Rain. It's, to quote Joshua from Nanator, it's a vibe. Like, it just, I vibe with Rain a lot. And I feel so goofy when I'm like, oh, I really vibe with this. That sounds so silly to me when I say it out loud. But I honestly don't know a better way to describe how I feel about Rain. I just like was grooving with it, you know? I have not been able to find an English translation for the lyrics yet, so I'm eagerly awaiting that. From what I've seen, a lot of people today have talked about how it sounds like very 80s kind of, and I can see that a little bit. I like listening to it the first time, I'm like mentally already picturing what the choreo would look like for it, and I am so excited to see this on tour in just less than 2 weeks now, because I can't wait to see the choreo, because I don't have spoilers from this weekend's performance yet. I guess I could spoil it for myself now that I know the song, but like mentally I have this image of what I feel like the choreo looks like, and I just know that they're going to deliver. If there is one thing that the performance unit is going to do, it is perform. And so I am very excited to see how this performance for Rain goes on tour. I really loved Rain. It was a vibe. It like naturally made me want to dance, and I'm a terrible dancer, so it's a good one. I love Spell. Don't make me choose between Spell and Rain. Both of the performance unit songs that have come out this year I have really loved, so great job. Okay, and last but not least, because it's my number 1, we have Water, which was the hip-hop unit song for this comeback, and I think I made my point pretty clear earlier in the video, but I loved this one. I really love Vernon's composing style. I feel like it was very clear that this was a hip-hop unit track, just like it was very clear that Monster was a hip-hop unit track from 17th Heaven, and I know that he also composed that one. And interestingly enough, I know Mingyu is also credited on the composition for this song, so I think they did a great job, and I love, like, Vernon's sound is very unique. You can tell when a 17 song has been entirely or in part composed by Vernon. It, like, scratched something deep inside my brain. I could listen to this song on a loop and not get tired of it. It just like hypes me up every time I listen to it. I'm like, all right, let's go again. I can picture this being the new song that I run to on the treadmill. Like, I am ready to make Water my #1 song for the year. It was just, oh my God, I just loved it. I think it was such a strong song to like put as the last track for this comeback. I listened to Water all the way through and then I'm like, all right, let's run it back all again from the top. Like, it's a really good hype song. And I think I like lost my ability to think and form coherent thoughts when Scoops' verse came on, like in verse 2, after it's Vernon and then his verse. I was like, what? So I think Coops' verse is my favorite from the song. Historically, hip hop unit tracks are my favorites from comebacks for 17, so I strongly believed that I would enjoy Water, and after hearing the highlight medley, like hearing the teaser for it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna love this. But then I was not fully prepared for the magnitude with which I would love Water. So it's going to be on repeat in the car, it's going to be in my headphones constantly. It is going to be my hyperfixation for the foreseeable future, because something about it just speaks to me deep within my soul. And I can always count on Vernon's composition and the hip hop unit to write some of my favorite 17 songs. Loved Water, can't speak highly enough of it. Stream Water. Stream all of Spill the Feels, but definitely stream Water. No, because then I don't want the other songs to feel left out. Stream all of Spill the Feels. Water just happens to be my favorite. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you for sticking with me to the end and listening to me ramble about 17 Comeback. If you watched this far, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video or if you want to see more from me on the internet in the future. I had a lot of fun with this video, so we'll see. Maybe I will try it again with Tomorrow by Together's comeback at the beginning of November. So we shall see. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you had at least a little bit of fun. Thank you for being here. And tell me in the comments what your favorite song was from this comeback for 17. You can tell me if you have a least favorite too, but don't be mean about it. Or just tell me your like general overall thoughts about the comeback. I just would love to hear what other people thought about this one as well. I think that is all for today. Bye friends. Thank you for watching. 도와주셔서 감사합니다. 안녕 친구들. And now we will go to bloopers because no one is perfect and I'm definitely not, and I know I probably have something to toss in there. So, blooper time. Come on, grab your friends. Why was that? I'm putting that in the blooper reel because that was the weirdest thing ever. Hi. Can you see where I just brushed my teeth and got water on my shirt? Probably. It's been a long life. I feel like I'm not gonna like it. My neighbor just started his car and it's very rumbly, and I'm wondering if you can like pick that up on the audio. Is he gonna leave, or I think he's leaving. Oh shit. But I devour. It is incredibly boppy. Now what is my sign off? 도와주셔서 감사합니다.